I'm just really excited. I know it doesn't look like much now. It looks really crappy. Oh, this, by the way, is where I hope to have all of my books. So all of my books will be along this wall here. And this area here, this corner here where you currently see tools, this is going to be where my desk is. And I hope to have like a little sofa under here, and maybe like a little area where I can interview guests if anyone comes to visit. So, and the good thing about having my own studio is, apart from the silence, I can set up everything how I need it. I can have all of my equipment there. I don't have to bring it out and put it away again because it's in people's way. This is where I'm working, so I can just leave everything out and get the perfect kind of basically calibrate everything to my liking and not have to worry about everything getting disassembled. So I wish I could share with you exactly what's in my head, because I've been thinking about this a lot, but hopefully that's at least given you some idea of what's happening. So that was a flashback to a video I put out over 2 years ago. Changes are coming, and this was me letting you, the viewers, know about my plans for the bunker. Well, obviously, the bunker got finished, and here we are 2 years later. So much has happened. I've made so many videos, I've been on so many adventures, I've met so many people, some of whom I've actually interviewed here in the bunker, and the improvements to the channel have only been possible because I'm being supported by hundreds of patrons. That number just keeps going up and up and up, so I'm getting more and more support. You would think that with the pandemic, the support would just have evaporated, or it would have significantly decreased. But no, the support's carried on going up despite the pandemic, and it's forced me to take another look at the channel and think of ways that I can just move things to the next level again. It feels like building the bunker was the first step, and it's been a case of trying to figure out what the second, third or fourth step is. So there's been lots of thinking and decision making going on behind the scenes over the last 2 or 3 months, and I've been letting my patrons know much of what's been going on, so they're already kind of clued in. But it's got to the point where these changes are going to come fairly soon, and it felt like the proper thing to let my subscribers know so that it doesn't all come as a total shock. Now, at least one of the changes you will have already seen. So I've been putting out Cedar's Sushi, so bite-sized chunks of my longer rebuttal videos. One of the most tedious criticisms I repeatedly have been getting on my longer rebuttal videos are comments saying, "Oh, why do your videos have to be so long?" To which my reply is always, my videos are exactly as long as they need to be. You simply cannot do justice to the hours and hours of propaganda material that Watchtower is churning out on a monthly basis. You can't cover it in just like a cute 5-minute video. But what I can do, and it's a concession I've willingly made, having given it some thought, what I can do is just chop up the longer rebuttals into shorter clips that deal with a specific subject. And when I think about it, that's sort of how I consume a lot of the YouTube content that I watch. So, for example, you see the David Pakman show doing the same thing. David Pakman does like an hour-long show, and he'll chop it up into shorter segments that deal with a specific subject, and I consume a lot of that sort of content. So is it unreasonable of Cedar's subscribers to expect similar from this channel? No, I don't think it is unreasonable at all. So I've started putting out the Cedar's Sushi, and so far it has been a fantastic success. The cedar sushi doesn't get the same views as the main rebuttals, but it does get thousands of views from people who, judging by the comments, never saw the original rebuttal, probably because it was too long. But they are interested in just that specific subject. So that's working really well. That's one change. Another big change is that I have set up a Croatian company. So far, all of my activism has been going through a UK company because I'm British. Now, with Brexit and everything, I have dual citizenship, which means that I can set up a Croatian company and essentially move the channel over to Croatia. Now, it's been quite a long process, and it's an ongoing process getting the company set up. Diana is now involved. She's a director, and she has had so much work to do behind the scenes to get things set up. But the purpose of setting up a Croatian company has been predominantly so that we can hire a video editor. Yes, we're being supported at this point so well and so generously by my patrons that we can start thinking about growing the operation so that I can bring in a professional video editor, which means, number one, you don't have to put up with my amateur editing anymore. There's hopefully going to be a slightly more professional look and feel to the videos. And number two, I can just concentrate on the filming side. And frankly, the filming side is enough. The filming side is a lot of work because it's not just sitting in front of the camera and talking. It's also doing the preparation, getting everything lined up, doing the research, finding the clips that I want to talk about. A lot of work goes in before I even sit in front of the camera. And sitting in front of the camera and talking about this stuff is also quite draining work creatively. So if I can focus on that and then just hand everything over to a video editor who is solely responsible with putting it all together and making it look good, I think that's the way forward. So the main reason for setting up a Croatian company is so that we can hire a Croatian video editor who, you know, one of the requirements, of course, is they speak perfect English so that I can communicate with them because my Croatian isn't very good. I'm in the recruitment stage at the moment and I've already had a number of very promising applications. So I'm sure that we will be hiring within the next few weeks. I don't know when the new video editor will begin work. Again, we haven't chosen them yet. But I'm guessing New Year-ish, January-ish, is when their edited videos will start appearing on the channel. And again, hopefully you'll see a difference. So that's a big change. I'm saving the biggest change for the end, though, so stay tuned for that. Shamelessly keeping you all glued to the screen. Because I'm bringing in another person, as you can probably tell, the bunker is big enough for me. It's not a bad size for one person to work in here and occasionally interview people who come, but it's not really a suitable place if there are multiple people working here regularly. So we will be expanding the bunker. We will be expanding beyond the legendary white door into the void beyond. And yeah, that's going to obviously entail quite a lot of work and time and energy and expense. But it's got to happen. That's being demanded by the growth of the channel. So we've already sort of started work on it because we've had to switch a bit of the plumbing around. And we're currently looking for a builder who can do the work. But yes, the bunker is expanding. New Croatian company, hiring a video editor. I've managed to start upgrading my equipment. So I was using a MacBook that got donated at the beginning of 2016. It's been just such a wonderful workhorse for the channel, and it really transformed my videos in terms of the ease with which I could put them together and what was possible, because previously I'd been using a very outdated PC and it just wasn't up to the task. So I've kind of fallen in love with MacBooks, and I figured after 4.5 years it was time to upgrade to a newer MacBook. So I've been able to do that. The old MacBook will get refurbished, and that will be used by the incoming video editor. I'm also in the process of upgrading my camera technology. I'm currently filming on a DJI Osmo Action, which isn't a bad camera. To be honest, a lot of my videos in the past have been filmed on smartphones, because I've realized that the main thing you need to think about when you're filming these videos, it isn't necessarily the camera, because most smartphones have very good cameras. It's more the lighting. But I'm now getting to the point where, especially being supported to the extent I'm being supported, it kind of feels like I'm cheating to be using smartphones, or even just using essentially a GoPro to shoot my videos. So I'm going to be investing in a Sony mirrorless DSLR camera very soon. And that's exciting as well, to be using proper technology, proper gear to get the videos filmed. Another big change that's coming, and it's not even the biggest change, so hold on for that. Another big change is that I am experimenting, or will be experimenting, with producing the Cedars channel in different languages. So I already have a partner lined up. Many of you will know Renato, who appeared on the Last Days live stream, continues to appear on the Last Days live stream. He helps out with the Last Days quiz. And Renato is Brazilian. And it turns out there is, I hate to use JW terminology, but there is a need in Brazilian Portuguese for YouTube content. So Renato's been geared up with some rudimentary gear, and we're going to start doing some test footage soon. And the idea is that we launch a Cedars Portuguese channel where Renato will essentially be presenting videos that I've already made, but he will be presenting them in Portuguese using green screen technology. We'll be able to have him present them essentially from the bunker with this backdrop, so that there's a bit of continuity, and we'll use the same information and many of the same graphics that I had in the original videos, or improved graphics where we can improve them. So that will hopefully, if it works, there's no guarantees, of course, that it will work, but if it gets enough views and there's enough interest, we will obviously do a video on this channel to let you all know once it's up and running. If there's enough interest and enough demand, then that can be a regular thing, and we can even think about doing similar things for other languages such as Spanish or French or whatever. So I'm going on a bit of a journey in that direction, and who knows what will happen. Maybe it will fail miserably, but you've just got to give it a go, haven't you? And see what happens. And my final big change, which is going to upset some of you, and I know it's going to upset some of you because I did a poll about this recently, and my Twitter followers were genuinely divided. It wasn't quite 50-50, but it was near enough 50-50. I'm dropping the name John Cedars for this channel. Henceforth, it will be my real name. And it's not a decision I take lightly. It's something that's been on my mind for a while now. I've kept the name John Cedars going as long as I have, as a homage to my journey, because John Cedars was the pseudonym that I began my activism work with when I was still technically a JW, and when it was possible for me to be hunted down for my activism work. So John Cedars served a purpose when this channel first began. It was the name that I wrote blog articles for JW Survey. Then, of course, at the end of 2013, I came out as Lloyd Evans and I started vlogging as Lloyd Evans. I wrote my book, The Reluctant Apostate, with the name Lloyd Evans. I am Lloyd Evans. I'm not John Cedars. And that's kind of been a growing irritation the longer my work has gone on. When I first started out, or when I first outed myself as Lloyd Evans, I used to kind of respond to the name John Cedars in almost the same way as I'd respond to my own name. It was almost like they were interchangeable. But the more my journey has progressed and the more work I've done, and the more I've just, I guess, grown as a person, I see John Cedars as more of a vestige of my past and not something that it's not a sacred cow that I feel I need to hold on to anymore. Certainly not to the degree of naming this channel John Cedars. So from January 1st, 2021, I'm giving you lots of notice. From January 1st, 2021, the channel will switch to being the Lloyd Evans channel. And yeah, it is emotional. It's a big change. But I just feel, what better time to change than when there are already lots of changes going on? It's better to do it now when things are growing, when we're becoming a business, when we're hiring people, when we're upgrading our technology, we're expanding the studio. Why not include that in the whole thing so that it's a big, big leap forward, and it's a little bit scary, but you don't make progress if you're not willing to take a few risks. And I don't think changing the channel name is so much of a risk. I think most of you understand surely why I'm doing this. But it is nevertheless a change. I am a little bit nostalgic about it, but onwards and upwards. From January 1st, 2021, you have been warned. This channel will be called Lloyd Evans. I may keep the John Cedars name for non-English language channels. That's something I'll have to give some thought to. Exactly how we brand channels in other languages. I could use the name John Cedars. I'm not writing that off. But certainly for this channel, it will be called Lloyd Evans. And apart from anything else, I'm quite looking forward to there being fewer people. Actually, no, I'll still get comments where people say, who's John Cedars? Because people will be watching the older videos. So I'll still get those comments through. But hopefully slightly fewer comments like that. Because I am Lloyd Evans. I'm not John Cedars. I've grown out of that name, I suppose. So I hope you understand. But yes, lots of changes coming, and none of it would be possible if not for the support of my patrons. They have helped me to redefine what's possible and to dream big and to do things with this activism work that I never even considered being possible when I first started out back in, well, it was 2012 that I started this YouTube channel. So I've been going a long time now. But yeah, my patrons have really, really come through for me. And yeah, credit to them for putting me in this position. It's a bit scary to be doing all of these changes all at once. But again, onwards and upwards, he who dares wins. And yeah, that's all I have to share with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Lloyd Evans channel for more videos. And as always, thank you for watching.